So it's part two. Right. These photos, my mother has an issue with me letting people see. I was unresponsive when these photos were taken of me. That is my left eye. Can you see? This is what they did to me. I'm pretty much dead in this photo. Let me just bring it on here for a sec. I'll sit down. My mother has an issue with her son talking about what happened. Yo, you just want to let go and move on. You Justin can't let go. Oh, you're crazy showing people. Why do you have to do... Well, how are people going to understand unless they actually know how severe the injury was? How is anyone going to understand unless they actually get an understanding of how severe the injury was? Because my mother didn't even care. No. And if Lola was here, she'd tell you. She didn't care. Ask John Cabino. Ask... Giovanni wasn't around, okay, because I didn't meet Giovanni, my ex-partner, until August 2008, but Nan told him. Nan called him up and said, here, you go out. I'm talking to Giovanni. And Giovanni said, you Nan wanted me to have your back when she dies. So my Nan sat with my ex-partner, Giovanni. God, why do you have to be such an asshole? When I needed him so much. Because Nan was concerned that when she died, I wouldn't have anyone to have my back. So Nan told even Giovanni what Mum said when I was home from hospital after that. And asked John Cabino. He was disgusted. So Nan, so as soon as it happened, Nan's like, come on, get me to Sydney. I want to see Justin. So Mum drove Nan down because Nan was like my mother to me. So Lola's like my mother. Which is really why I can't deal with the fact that she's gone. She should... I don't think I could ever forgive her for leaving me. But... when I came home from hospital, because I was still under concussion, so I was asleep. And Mum said to Nan, oh, come on, we'll go and see Margaret. That's all she cares about, her partying. My mum doesn't care. She just cares about her partying, that she's always got to be around Margaret, Britt, and John Kirk. She goes, come on, we'll go and see Margaret. Margaret, Britt's playing here. We'll go and watch her play. And Nan's like, Carol, like, I'm not here to party. Like, Mum, I've just come home from a Glasgow coma, and my mum wants to go out and party. That's all she wants to... Oh, she's a fucking deadbeat. She's a fucking deadbeat, my mother. Like, oh my God, seriously, she is an honest to God deadbeat. That doesn't make any sense. And, you know, my twin sister, you know, may have problems, but she would never do that to her kids. What sickness has my mother got? I'm sorry, I can't, you know, and I wasn't supposed to know because they weren't going to tell me. Nan didn't want to tell me and upset me. But ask John Cabino, and you wish you could ask Lola. Mum, all she was interested in was going and watch Margaret Britt play. Okay, and Nan said, no, I want to be here for when Justin wakes up. Mum said he won't remember anyway. John Cabino. Find him, ask him. He would tell you the truth, but then go and ask Giovanni Consalvo because Nan told him. I was never supposed to know because Nan didn't want to hurt me. So it doesn't hurt me. I know what Mum's like. So, you know, these photos were taken of me when I was unresponsive in St. Vincent's Hospital, November 30th, 2007. It was, for obvious reasons you can see. So if people want to talk about my sight in my left eye, please don't take any more of my independence away. So there's my left eye. You can see my face smashed up. You can see there the stitches. You can see here. See? Just here, the scar. So you can see there. So I lost part of my left eye there. So that's me when I'm in the coma. So Aboriginals from Housing Commission, entitled Aboriginal Ice Junkies from Housing Commission, did a string of muggings down Devonshire Street, cut through Riley Street, and got me on Cleveland Street just before Mulga Street. November 30th, 2007, I was coming home from work as a VIP host at Star Casino. I lost everything because of what those people did. Everything. I lost the house that I brought to move into. I lost my job at Star Casino. I lost my right to live my life normally. I have to live my life with disability for the rest of it. I wasn't compensated for it. No, instead, I actually was defamed. I had to battle with insurance companies and a self-insured employer, Star Casino, that would rather set out to discredit me, which they did, to discredit me and make me look like an undesirable character of a person, to get away, basically, or to push me out, than to actually work with disability and work with me as a return to work. It was their choice to put me on a 10-year return to work. See, if they had to pay me damages from at the time of the mugging, that's what they were paying. They didn't want to part with that much money. They didn't want to part with a compensation matter to do with a Glasgow coma. Okay, these damages. Now, they had to accept me back as an employer, but, otherwise if they sacked me, that's unfair dismissal for injury. But there was a loophole. They were legally allowed to put me on a part salary payment for 10 years. Now, everyone has their own opinion of all of this, and why don't you just shut up? Just shut the fuck up. I want to scream it. I want to scream until the fucking ceiling comes down. Shut the fuck up. Because I can speak for myself. I don't need your opinion. Carol, Marianne, Robin, and I don't need anyone's. The reason behind what Star Casino did was to actually help them financially. Financially, they didn't want to part with whatever they could have lost in a legal battle over having to pay me damages for a disability. Okay? So instead, they would rather discredit me as a person and a human being. Now, that's quite simple. Have you met my mother? Met my family? They're not forthcoming with ever having my back, are they? So if they fired me for having a disability, unfair dismissal. But the loophole was that they were legally allowed to say, we're going to pay part salary payment for 10 years. Okay, so you're off work for 10 years. You're not allowed to go and work at another casino, even if you recover. You've got to ride the 10 years out. Basically, it's a way that they can push you into retiring. So they retire you out. That's what they do. You're no good to work. You can never work again. We're going to retire you out onto the pension. Okay. Instead of giving you your job back with disability or paying you damages. No. We're going to retire you out so you're not our problem. We don't want the problem of having someone with disability. A lot of big companies do it. A lot of big companies worth a lot of money, who have a good legal team and a good compensation and good people sitting there. They pay a fortune for people sitting in a desk so no one gets anything, because if one person sets a precedent, okay, then there's going to be people that have been injured after that will set a precedent. So no, they pay people big money to push you out. So it was a part salary payment for 10 years with the if I could prove that I've maintained these health conditions and I'm able to go back to some type of work, any type of work, they have to negotiate my job back. If I'm able to do any work at all, the first thing I'm supposed to be doing is returning to VIP hosting. So you can't sit back and go, oh, but he can do this type of job. No, I can't. Because otherwise, if I can do that job, I can go back to VIP hosting. So I can go back to the job at the casino. There is no letting go and moving on. This is a return to work, and it says that if I'm able to do any work in a capacity, then I can. This is return to normal duties as a VIP host. So anyone who wants to get involved and say, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you don't? No, I'm sorry. Why don't you then get a legal team for me and negotiate my job back at Star Casino as a VIP host? Because in December 2017, until New South Wales Police fucked me up in the beginning of 2017, that's what was supposed to happen. It was a 10-year part salary payment with maintaining health conditions and injuries, with a return to work, living with disability in December 2017. But what you did, you made me out, you made my injuries out. Well, first of all, you made me out to be a druggo. Thank you very much. You made me out to be a criminal. You made me out to have, a psychotic breakdown. You did everything is the government in bed with insurance companies, are you? Is New South Wales Police in the business of supporting these rich bureaucracy insurance companies and letting them get away with disability discrimination? Because you helped Star Casino with this one. You really did. You really helped them. You, as New South Wales Police and the medical health industry in 2017, you fucked over my life like you would not believe. You really destroyed me. Okay? Fucking destroyed me. So, you null and voided my return to work. You gave Star Casino an option to say, oh, so what happened? We can't come back to Star Casino then. We're going to null and void the return to work. Thank you. You did that. Remember, the return to work negotiation was supposed to happen before December 2017 and what you guys did in 2017. Okay. All you had to do was stop. Okay, you're not qualified. You're a police officer. Okay, you're not qualified. You're not, neither is a lot of these mental health workers or, a crisis group or acute care and all these bullshits. You don't involve yourself and don't get involved. If I'm a person that says, look, I'm living with an injury, can you please butt out? I have my team that I deal with, my medical team. Don't get involved. So am I there saying, don't get involved? I don't need you. I didn't ask for you. Or if I'm asking for an organisation that said, look, I've got these injuries. You can look at me and go, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. Okay, that's in your opinion. Okay? We don't need your opinion, but I need you to, for an example, I may need you to bat for me when it comes to a government organisation or dealing with an organisation that I feel is really their approach to everybody is a blanket cover reading from a script. Okay? So it's it's not, it's more equality when we're going to treat everyone exactly the same. So, instead of equity. Because people aren't the same. No one starts off the same. No one ends the same. Okay? Equality doesn't work. I'm sorry. Like, I know what people think when we say, when someone's against equality, it's like, okay. The simple thing is, equality only works if every single person is a clone of one unique specimen. We're not. We all have different health conditions, different injuries, different experiences. There is nothing alike. Equality doesn't work because it's saying that everyone's exactly the same, and we're not. Equity works because looking at someone's holistic approach and what's happened to them and what their needs are is very different. For a great example, you could look at someone. This doesn't mean I'm against people with kids, but you can look at a single mother that's had children and they think that they're entitled to have all these benefits and get paid for. But what's happened to you? Oh, I'm a single mum with kids. Okay. What health conditions do you have? Nothing. It always goes back to the kids. Okay. You've had no injuries. You've got no health conditions. There's no reason why you can't do full-time work in a part-time job and have your kid in after-school care. There's nothing wrong with you. So why are you in Housing Commission? Because literally, as a person, there is nothing at all wrong with you except you had kids. And I see this as someone that's lived in disability, that you think you're entitled to have more than somebody else that's been damaged because you gave birth. You get a lot of money from the government. You get a lot of handouts from the government. You get a lot of benefits. And there is literally nothing wrong with you. Physically, mentally, health-wise, nothing except you gave birth. Let it sink in for a minute. All you did was choose poorly, because if you had have actually, done the right thing and brought a, education, good job, brought a house, got married, planned for children. Children are expensive. Planned for children. Oh my God, I can't believe this is something that you've got to explain to people. How do you, you be talking in a conversation with some people, it's like, oh my God, like it's a big shock. I fell pregnant. I'm like, how? Like it's sorry, you didn't know about the birds and the bees and magically you fell pregnant? So unplanned. Oh, it just happens. Well, of course it just happens when you don't take precaution. This is the most idiotic, insane thing I've heard women say in my life. But it can just happen. Well, okay. Any dumb fuckwit knows if you have unprotected sex, you could fall pregnant. There's precautions that you can take. Why normal people take precautions and plan for a pregnancy, and here you are then saying, oh, I accidentally fell pregnant, now I want the government to pay for me. And then in the same breath, you are discriminating against people living with disability, and people with disability get nothing while you get fabulous houses for your kids to grow up in. A lot of money. And you sit at home on your fat ass doing nothing. But you're the first person that will look at someone living with a disability going, they're home all day, what do they do? It's like, what's wrong with you? You had an injury? No. What happened to you? There's no reason why you couldn't work like I did before my injuries. One full-time job, one part-time job. You're a female that can work a full-time job and a part-time job. You have no health problems. You've got kids. Okay, they're at school and there's after-school care. Go to work. Before you start looking at people living with disability, they've got a disability. You have nothing wrong with you except you are an entitled female. You are an entitled female that wants the government to pay for you, and you've never had an injury. The only problem with you is that, well, the government should have come down on you and said, we're taking the kids off you. We should be going back to those days of 1960s and said, unmarried, we'll put the kids there. Bring back, I tell you what we need to bring back, bad women's asylums like in King's Cross and orphanage. Kids should be taken off their parents. Bring back harsh rules where that female's unmarried, no husband, take the kids off her. There is no single mother with kids. There is take the children off her, put them in an orphanage, put them in a foster home, and give them to the right people that are married. Okay? Because too many in Australia, I just fell pregnant. You don't just fall pregnant. See, you have sex with a man and it's unprotected. You're not on the pill. You could fall pregnant. You take precautions. I'm sorry, did you not learn, sex education at school? That's what happens. It's not, oh my God, I fell pregnant. Oh my God, I just shit a watermelon. It's it's not a shock. It's not a shock that if you have sex with a man, a female has sex with a man, and it's unprotected, and you're not on the pill and you're not taking precautions, then you could be, most likely fall pregnant. Okay. And then it's like, oh, suddenly you want everyone to pay for your children, but there's nothing wrong with you. No, you're a McDonald's eating, piece of shit that thinks that this is okay. Oh, don't worry. I've got family members exactly like you. The women, not the men. I've got family exactly the same. Oh, I fell pregnant. Unplanned? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. You're really showing the, I guess what we'll just say, your environment. And they're cousins of mine that I'm like, now they're really showing what environment they grew up in, aren't they? Because my twin sister wouldn't do that. My twin sister, before she got married, so my twin sister, number one, finished school, went to university, travelled and lived overseas, came back, good jobs, kept studying. Oh, no, not just come back and worked, went to university again, and probably even again after that. She went, oh, God, how many times has she gone to university, Amanda? Because school, university, America, working, university, still working, buys a house, then gets married, then plans for children. Now that's what a normal female does. That's normal. My twin sister, with all her thoughts, that's how you normally behave. Not, I fell pregnant. I didn't have my high school HSC. Oh, and I think McDonald's is 5-star. Yeah. North Parramaccas on special dates, is it? Yeah. Those types of people. Where you have kids, you want your little baby bonus, you want your housing commission house, you want all these benefits, then go to work. You do not have a disability. Having children is not living with this. All you did was give birth. All you did was give birth. Give these single mothers a studio to live in, they'll soon get a fucking job. Okay? Take away their welfare. No, take away their kids. Reopen the 1960s place in King's Cross and, oh, there we go. Well, she's off screwing around. Got pregnant, lock her up, take the kid off her and put it up for adoption. That worked. This is the product of those types of women who have kids that do this to somebody. Do you see? These types of people that do this to a person when they're on the way home from work, they're raised by a single parent mother and no father. These are the druggos. These are the deadbeats. These were Abos that did this to me. These are Aboriginals. This was just before Marlborough Street on Cleveland Street. 30th of November 2007. So when you want to say stuff about me or look into my life like you guys did in the last 11 years or defame me and discriminate against me, have a good hard look for a minute. Okay? Have a look there at the eye. Okay, you can see the stitches there. Okay, you can see just here. Just for a minute. Have a look. Now, how hard would you have had to hit someone with a crowbar for them to have no left eye? Okay. Just have a look. My face smashed in. Just for a minute. When you want to say things and make up stories that I'm mentally retarded or that I've lost the plot or always gone crazy, always having a breakdown. No, you see, I got extremely badly mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007, where my body was violated, where I could still, before I completely lost full consciousness, had know that the guy stood on my face. Hang on, Baxter. My dog wants me. Let me show you. I have to pick my dog up. 1 second. So when you want to commit, well, how many laws are broken in my life since 2015? Criminal defamation, discrimination, not just disability discrimination, but holy fuck, were you happy to discriminate against me in 2 countries, and this involves immigration. Why don't you have a read? Okay, before you want to start making up stories, or then even destroy me more and say, oh, since his brain injury, his personality's changed. No, it hasn't. PTSD is not a personality. Don't keep attaching it to me, then I might not have it so much. You're attaching it, but that's out of character if you be like that. That's right, it is out of character. It's an injury. It's also out of character for me to be hobbling around, but I only do that when my disc is slipped in my back. If my disc is fine, I'm not hobbling around. Yes, it's out of character because my injury's flared up. Okay, don't keep talking for me, which is why I think my mother should be removed permanently out of my life. I've given her too many chances. I honestly think that I should be going to court with a court order to make sure. I don't think that it's... I think that it's just too much. Because I'm the person that should be listened to about me and my injuries. I am the only person, not even... I don't want to hear an opinion on a theory or whatever even a medical team has said, but I think after something like this, you'll be like this. I'm like, no, you don't tell me. I tell you. Because I know who I was. I know who I am. If you want me to back it up, I can give you the details of this. I tell you. The only way you're going to help me is if you have the information from me, not from your opinion, not from your theory, not from a third party. If you have it directly from me myself. Otherwise, you can't help me. You can't assist when I'm saying, oh, I'm having a lot of issues that have just been caused since X, Y, and Z. Oh, you know, you can't. My dog, 1 second. He's unsettled. Okay, and same as my mum with her bullshit. Oh, that's, you're being, what was it? What did she say when I was showing? I was like, no, you have no idea. If you didn't know that I had a bad injury, this shows you. It's a good indication of just how bad the injury was. Okay, I'm unresponsive there. So I want you for a minute just to think that that's me in a coma in St. Vincent's. An Aboriginal did this. That's me in a coma in St. Vincent's. Junkie Aboriginals from Housing Commission, Moorhead Street. I'm coming. Also, just remember that my actual medical team had a duty of care to be writing to even the police commissioner. Okay, you're my medical team that know this. There's plenty of documents that know this happened to me. Okay, you have a duty of care to stop any wrong information that's going to be causing me damage and undoing recovery of anything. You have a duty of care to be going to, you know, to an organisation and be writing a statement and saying, okay, he's had this happen to him. You had a duty of care to be helping putting a complaint in against me being defamed. Your patient, who you had a duty of care of, was getting defamed. You know, as my medical team, what happened to me, and you would know by not the look at the photos, even by looking at the photos, but you know from their own records how much damage that causes. You know that. So why would you let Star Casino or any insurance company, I mean, don't you take an oath as a medical provider? You know, as my medical team, you know that you have a duty of care to be going to organisations and saying to them, Here is the facts of the injury. You have defamed a person and committed discrimination. You have committed defamation and discrimination. You have a duty of care, whether it's a government organisation. You have a duty of care to go back and get the notes from Malcolm Bowman. You have a duty of care if Justin's mother is overstepping and causing trouble that is going to recklessly endanger her son's health. You have a duty of care to tell people to say they're not, to actually abide by the actual laws. You don't gather information from anyone except for the person themselves. It breaks privacy laws otherwise. You have a duty of care as my medical team who know what I've gone through. You know, you have a duty of care to actually be writing letters to, police commissioner. You have a duty of it is not just your job to sit back and go, oh, I'm a doctor, I'm on, $60 odd for 5 minutes, each 5 minutes. I'm flat out every 5 minutes because I'm getting $60 a 5 minute and I've got X amount of houses and X amount of cars and X amount of boats or whatever. No, didn't you take an oath? You took an oath to be in the medical industry. By letting your patient be harassed, stalked, privacy laws broken, discriminated against, heavily discriminated against, defamation, you have a duty of care knowing to say, okay, write a letter to the effects of, you know what happened? You know the injuries are there. These injuries were maintained because of X, Y, and Z. They were maintained. These people, since 2015, have not only exacerbated these injuries after I was assaulted, causing grievous bodily harm on the 2nd of February in 2025. You should have wrote a letter to New South Wales Police and said, investigate and find these people, because this is now upset an injury that Justin had in 2007. They need to be charged and prosecuted. Okay. Not only was that, the group of Aboriginals that are known by, they were friends of Lisa, who's an Aboriginal worker from Strawberry Hills Housing Commission, harassed me continuously right up to this year, causing me to be set off. Rachel, who works in Housing Commission, found that she wanted to push this under the carpet. Nina was very understanding. Rachel wanted to push it under the carpet. It's like, no, there's a reason. I'm getting harassed all the time in my area by friends of Lisa's that are in Housing Commission. These group of Aboriginals that are, so there's a reason behind what's going on, and they didn't want to accept it. Why when this? Control your people. Because they're in Housing Commission. Because her attitude back to me was like, well, you know what? We can't control people. It was like, wait a minute, you can't control people, but you're harassing me for my reaction to your Housing Commission people. So, what it seems to be is that you don't want to deal with these Aboriginals that are in Housing Commission from Strawberry Hills that have caused issues to me, but you want to harass me for my reaction to what I've just had. That's what you're doing. That's what you've done. My doctors and medical team have a duty of care to be writing to state government. You have a duty of care for yourself as a doctor to go, okay, this is what they're doing. This is the injuries he has. What they're doing is criminal. What Belinda Jeffries, Justin's hairdressers, did, besides her own behaviour, but fuck is she a criminal? Literally harassing her client's life, thinking he was like-minded to her. Driving around. You don't have a right to drive around and be continuously. You can't invite. You're just his hairdresser. My medical team have more than a duty of care to be like, okay, this is what happened to Justin. Putting me, he was walking home from work as a VIP host at Star Casino. The documents are there. Okay, well, walking home from actually Central Station, I exited out Elizabeth Street. All right. So I exited out Elizabeth Street, walked up Elizabeth Street, turned left onto Cleveland Street, and I was not far from actually Marlborough Street when I got hit first. Then hit again. Now, the Aboriginals that mugged me, robbed and mugged me on the way home from work, actually stood on my head to undo the gold chains off my neck. 3 gold chains. Okay. There is, injuries there. They're lifelong injuries that I got nothing for. The coma, I've already explained what it felt like to slip into the coma and so forth. The night terrors, okay? Sleep terrors they are. When you fall asleep or my body keeps shocking me awake, because believe me, my body does not want to fall back into a coma where I was near dead. See, I was near dead. Okay? Near dead. By the way, this is a skin problem. Okay? That's not sunburn. Okay? That's a different injury. This here, and I'll tell you, if you're so concerned, Housing Commission, this is why my medical team were telling you, make sure he has a bath. Okay? Sorry, I hate discussing this with people. It looks horrible, doesn't it? Yeah. I have an antibiotic resistant skin problem that if I don't bathe frequent, it actually goes to that. This is not sunburn. And the person who can confirm all this, of course, is Margot Whitfield as well. Okay, this isn't sunburn. And then my mother made up stories about, his hair. Okay, you see that? Can you see? That's my hair. Okay, can you see that? What it was when it was so bad. So imagine when you have an infection. Imagine having an infection all over your body because your immune system's dropped. And you have sores all through your scalp. Imagine then doing something like that, which I can do now, of course, doing that. But you got sores in your scalp, so you're literally pulling your hair out, like not, but because the whole thing was these sores, which is an antibiotic-resistant skin infection. So the need to have continuous hot water is a need. It's a medical need to have continuous hot water. It is a medical need to bathe in a bath. And Housing Commission were told by my medical team, it is a medical need. Okay? It's not, but Justin wants. No, it is a medical need. There's no debating the fact when it's a medical documented need. Now, I did used to connect with my family a lot in the past as well, even despite all the arguing going on. And spent a lot of time with my nephews and so forth. Maybe that did help. Not maybe. My twin sister catching up and being with her and my nephews did help. So maybe there is something to reconnect with there. But I don't want to, not even she's going to be like, mum's behaviour again. Okay. Now, I will say that everything was maintained perfectly. And then I have a lot of this where I've had people say, but then what happened to upset all this? And something, people go into relationships. I'm like, I'm talking about relationships. No, moving from Rushcutters Bay affected it. I moved from the environment that was suited for my health condition and haven't lived in an environment since 2016 that fits my medical needs. I moved from, the corner of New Beach Road, New South Head Road, not because where it was the apartment. The apartment itself was what it suited. That apartment itself could be right here where I'm living. Like if there was that shape, that design, but it's what suited. I mean, well, not here because you can't walk out the front and feel comfortable. I'll tell you that now, not with these Housing Commission people. But that's why that was maintained there. And the other thing as well, what caused the problem. So what initially caused it, which is what Giovanni said, you're not getting things across to police. So basically what happened, Brett Aiken had a piece of shit, dirty little lying cunt Aboriginal, who doesn't know me, I brought my dog from him, started troubling my life in October 2015 was bullshit what he said. To cover his own fucking ass is a piece of shit. Now, what he did was put some shit across social media about me, and I started getting harassed by his friends. That started it. October 2015. My partner, he was still my partner then. So my partner Giovanni, because he was still my partner until the end of 2016. My partner Giovanni saw it straight away and said, "You're getting those episodes back that you had years ago. What's causing it?" I said, "Gio, I walked out the front of my apartment doing my daily routine where I would go across the road to the cafe and sit for half an hour and do what Agnes Rappaport told me to do. And I'm sitting there and Brett Aikenhead was waiting in the cafe. And he was there with this deadbeat fucking abo by the name of Spencer and his abo, like female, Spencer's sister. He's like, what? He goes, call the police. So I ring the police, like Newtown Police. He goes, ring Newtown Police. So I did. And they're like, we can't do anything unless he assaults you. I'm like, but he's stalking and intimidating me. So that's why. So that's what caused. That's what caused it. Basically, Brett Aikenhead was the cause of the damage to undo the start of the undoing of all the maintenance. Was to do with the little fucking abo cunt that should have been arrested. Well, he was arrested. He should just stay going to court. The guy should be re-arrested. He intimidated a witness. Okay, I was asked to do a statement against him, to go to court in 2016, okay, to give evidence against him. What is wrong with Australia? He intimidated a fucking witness. The guy, police are just walking around letting this dirty little fucking bastard, Brett Aikenhead, get away. Him, his friends, and he intimidated a witness. Me, I was a witness that was subpoenaed to court to give evidence against him. He literally intimidated a witness that was living me with disability. That's what he did. And you just like brushed over it like it was okay to do. No, it wasn't. And that's what caused, I went from having everything maintained to, since 2016, but actually since 2015, October 2015, to having my life put through hell for 11 years. Now, there is a group of people that should be arrested. Oh, and the group of friggin' Aboriginal bastards that actually live up near the corner of Moorhead and Phillip Street. New South Wales Police might want to start thinking about arresting them. You're going to let more Aboriginals get away with breaking the law? What? Just like the ones that mugged all the people in Surrey Hills November 30th, 2007 and left me for dead? Just like the Aboriginals that went down Devonshire Street with a string of muggings, bashing people? Because that's what savage animals do. This is what savage animals do. And that's what all an Aboriginal is. Just like the ones that went down Devonshire Street, cut through Riley Street, and got me on Cleveland Street, November 30th, 2007. That's exactly what Aboriginals do. You do good as keep defending them. Why? They know they're going to get off. Well, they know they'll get off with this. Go get the personal notes. I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't privileged to all the notes to do with Detective Chopra. But I know myself and Detective Chopra had a private conversation in 2008 when I was at Surrey Hills Police Station picking up my licence that was gathered from the investigation to do with the guys that mugged me. Go ask him what he said. I'm sure he'd be nice enough to say, because like he said, the Aboriginals from Moorhead Street, they can't go any, like he was really trying to go further with the investigation, but because they're Aboriginal, they were hitting roadblocks because the elders and the Aboriginals. You know, I'm not going to back down. There's a group of Aboriginals that should be charged for their harassment to me since being in this area. It's actually exacerbated my health. It's caused, the charge you should be looking at is called reckless endangerment to one's health through stalking, intimidation and harassment. There you go. Do I have to spoon feed New South Wales Police the law? Do you need to be spoon fed it? Because it's caused reckless endangerment to one's health due to its deliberate stalking, harassment and intimidation and they're up there. Okay, not far from Moorhead Street on Phillip Street. There, you know who they are. Well known to housing commission workers like the Aboriginal Lisa who works in Strawberry Hills. Okay, now my medical team can actually, you took an oath. Your oath is to be looking after your patient's best needs, and looking after your patient's best needs means actually writing to state government regarding the treatment of government organisations towards me. That means Strawberry Hills Housing Commission. That means New South Wales Police.